Hey there, it's me, Joyous. I got something to show you. So, I love sketching, and as it turns out, I found a sketch brush on Clip Studio. You'll find it in the link below if you're interested. And, you'll find also that is very freeing and very, lovely to work with and use. And it just uh, captivates it so much that I just had to make a video and talk about it, as well as my love for sketching, because it was very crazy to think that I found a sketch brush that can actually translate how it feels to get in the actual sketchbook. Because I feel like there is a certain, how to say it, separation feeling from when you're in the sketchbook versus when you're in traditional or digital art. And it's very nice to see that there's a sketchbook, a sketch brush that's actually like perfect for what it is that I have in mind to do, as well as the style that I'm currently studying from my favorite artist, Soichiro Yamamoto, and his art and his line art work, and how this brush actually works through it pretty well. Like it's like crazy to think that this brush has been in my um, download brushes from way before, and I just didn't get to using it. And lo and behold, it's been a hidden gem, because it's been very freeing and very loose when it comes to sketching with it. And when it comes to sketching, it's part of what I love. Like when it comes to getting in the sketchbook, it's such a second home to me. So when it comes to digital art, it's like I'm venturing outside of that home in a sense, because digital art, I love digital art and rendering and all that, but my namesake is Drawrius, right? And Drawrius, the birthplace was in the sketchbook. Like in the very beginning when I started, all I had me was a sketchbook, and I was in a big screen in my room. And that was what I did. I drew what was on that big screen. And yeah, it's like when I took a next step into digital art, it's like that opened up a whole new world. That is very overwhelming in a sense, because there's so much to think about, with like the brushes and the rendering and like essentially just so many things that are outside of the sketchbook, and when it comes to sketching and drawing in a sense, it starts with the pencil. So I always love to sketch out things before I take on like the official art that I've been wanting to get into, but it's been difficult to find a brush that fits what I want and works the way that I want it to. Because the whole point of sketching is not so much to create something that looks perfect, but just something that I can, look back and say, like, oh yeah, this turned out great. And yeah, that is exactly what this brush is. Like it's very freeing to see even this right now, seeing it come together piece by piece and sketching it and seeing the time lapse over it is very captivating and very freeing. Uh, Digital art is a concept I'm still getting used to as far as the learning approaches and all that, because there's a lot to take in. And going back to where it all started, in a sense, in sketching, is where it's fun and it doesn't get boring at all. So that's where I love sketching. And what I would love to take away from doing sketches like these is just that, learning. And sketching is just that. Like, when it comes to doing rendering and all that, it can get very stiff and fixed because there's detail to consider. But when it comes to sketching and essentially just mapping out where the roadmap for what comes later, it's like where that it gets like so soothing to see and to draw. And it's like when I do these figure drawing sketches, it's no different. Like, uh, working on it and building upon it for later is very nice. And the sessions where I'm just letting my mind be free and my hand be loose, it's like such a pleasing experience. I feel like things get so like caught up in making it look great and uh perfect that I have a hard time remembering that not every line has to count. And when it comes to this brush in particular, it's very like versatile in its use. Um, and that is something that is very appreciative, because when I approach these in an actual, illustration, then I just have the overall idea across, and then I either just make another layer and draw from that, or I just clean up the sketch and then bam, So it's very nice. The style that I want to go for is not so is like a lean to line art, but still sketchy at the same time. So this brush does that perfectly because there isn't something that I have to be so fixed on getting right, because this brush just naturally looks right. And what I love about sketching is that it looks good, and then we work on from there. And that's what I love about sketching, like I feel like getting so caught up in detail and essentially the icing on a cake, it just makes you forget the fact that there is a cake under all that icing. And when that cake is formed, then we can work on the frosting and the deliciousness parts of it, and yeah, I really love sketching. Like, it's a part of what is fun and what is essentially home to me. Like digital art, I could go without doing digital art and still be so happy. And so when it comes to this brush, it kind of unifies that feeling of traditional art and digital art. So that is my little video, for here, and my little talk that I just had to talk about with this brush and just sketching in general. So I hope you've enjoyed this little chit chat, and Uh, I highly suggest losing yourself into this brush as well, because I mean, who knows? You may fall in love with it as I do, and just have an endless desire to sketch, as I sure do. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed these little sketches and our little chit chat. But other than that, yeah, I'll see you later.